Hello friends, I hope you are well. It looks like there is some big news out of the NBN camp. A few weeks back, they conceded that fibre is the way to go. Today, they backflipped so hard, Tony Hawk raised a few eyebrows. Finally, after rumours, speculations, wishes, hopes, dreams, night terrors and Ouija boards, NBN Co announced they will be upgrading fibre to the node connections to full fibre. And that sounds great, doesn't it? But it's not quite exactly that clean. So in today's episode, we will follow the rabbit down the rabbit hole to find out what's on the other side, if it's more rabbits or a pot of gold. Welcome to a special midweek Dirt Report. I couldn't hold out to do this video on the weekend to talk about it, so here we are. And if you'd like to see an interview with Damien Ivory from Launtel, that is below. Make sure to like this video if you did, and subscribe for more updates like this and many other tech videos. Let's roll the intro. Let's start with the basics. NBN Co will be spending $4.5 billion to upgrade 75% of NBN's fixed line network to achieve 1 gigabit speeds by the end of 2023. Out of that $4.5 billion, $400 million will be put into HFC upgrades and $100 million into fiber to the curb upgrades, which will hopefully mean these two connection types will get 1 gigabit speeds, and up to $700 million will be used to take fiber to businesses, creating fiber zones nationwide. And finally, $300 million will go to regional premises. This money will enable NBN Co to partner with government and local councils to deliver technology upgrades, particularly in fixed, wireless and satellite areas. Finally, the rest will go to upgrading fiber to the node. NBN Co, however, isn't as optimistic about the whole thing. They only expect about 400,000 fiber to node customers to opt in for fiber by 2024. Then there are some caveats too. They tout they will roll the fiber deeper and closer to homes and businesses, and this may mean it's not quite going to reach your house. I personally think there will be a huge amount of people opting for fiber, and I think they will be overwhelmed and surprised because people do want internet. The statements from the government said that fiber may extend into households based on demand, where a home's requirement exceeds existing line speed capabilities, basically saying this whole upgrade fiasco is basically moving from almost fiber to node to fiber to the curb, depending on where you are. But wait, there is more. Residential fiber to node customers will need to order a higher speed plan. The good news, however, is you will get full fiber lead-in into your home, and it will be unlikely that you will have to pay this in your connection cost. You will just be paying for the higher speed. Our favorite showman, Paul Fletcher, said that NBN Co will only build the expensive fiber lead-in if and when a customer orders a higher speed plan. If I just pause right there, does that mean I can only order it for 1 month or on a 12-month contract? So if I order it for 1 month, will I just get fiber straight away and then just go back to a lower speed? We don't know. He continued, this on-demand model is used with great success by Chorus in New Zealand and Openreach in the UK, and we're very happy to copy it. The on-demand approach is not the worst one, but I think he doesn't appreciate just how much demand there will be. He continued that committing to more fiber when it makes economic sense to do so. I wonder if it took the recently announced Broadband Advice Committee to get to that profound answer. Was it a mystery that needed to be solved? I don't know. He added that the upgrade will reuse the new fiber build as part of the fiber to the node rollout and extend it further into the suburbs. Basically, that last few yards. Fletcher said that all this is possible because NBN has proven itself. He said this plan is possible because NBN Co has now proven itself as a business model and is generating substantial and growing cash flows, in turn allowing it to borrow in the private debt markets. Ultimately, Fletcher said 2 million homes serviced by a fiber to node would be upgraded to full fiber connections. So let the lottery begin, I suppose. NBN Co also has plans to help residents whose premises cabling is not up to scratch. It sounds like a continuation of an old plan to upgrade in-home wiring. The opposition's communication spokesperson Michelle Rowland said that to attack and dump fiber was never about cost, but always about the politics. And she is quite right. If we look back at the facts, if we rolled out fiber from the start, this whole thing would have cost less in the long term, maybe more in the short term, but nonetheless. Rowland reiterated that fact, saying this has meant Australian taxpayers have paid more for a network that does less, and more money is now required to play catch-up. And as a big fan of Rowland, this is gold. She said, what on earth was the point of spending $51 billion of taxpayer dollars on a Liberal's second-rate copper network to begin with. Fletcher had prepared a response to such questions and said, "From the outset, the plan set out in our 2013 strategic review was to get the network rolled out as quickly as possible and then deliver upgrades when there was demand for them. We've steadily delivered on our plan for 7 years. The further investment announced today is exactly what our plan envisaged." To translate this political yogurt, he means that this was the plan all along. I'd imagine if Fletcher was building his own home and the builder kept doing upgrades on it over decades, he too would ask, why didn't you do it right the first time? Fletcher did continue. This is the right time for the network upgrades. There is a long-term trend of broadband demand growth with very significant spikes this year as COVID-19 has changed the way we use the internet. Actually, it's been going up for years. Nobody noticed, I suppose. Finally, Fletcher revealed his best stroke yet. The upgrade program would create 25,000 jobs across the country over 2 years. The timing is just right. Could they have predicted COVID-19? Probably not. Will they use the fact that this is just a coincidence to their advantage? Oh yes. Guess what? In time like this, aren't you thankful we are bringing 25,000 jobs to Australians? Look, our incompetence pays off. At the end of the day, what happened with this is like working out a convoluted math problem, and how you got there is completely incorrect, but you still got the answer right. This to me is a definition of politics and this situation. You may also be wondering where the money will actually come from. Most of the money comes from the refinancing of the existing Commonwealth Government loan of $19.5 billion. Finance Minister Matthias Cormann said NBN Co will bring forward these important investments in Australia's future broadband capabilities through private debt, which is possible due to the strong future cash flow position. To the list of having none of it, you can also add Kevin Rudd, who slammed the NBN this week too. Here is what he had to say. "This is a monumental policy backflip by the Morrison government, which has spent 7 long years attacking my government's original plans, only now, 7 years later, to begin delivering to Australians what they should have had all along." Many knew this, none spoke up. What's the reality? Well, we don't know any specifics yet. We don't know exactly at what end of copper cable they will start, which premises will get the treatment. A clear plan hasn't been presented that justifies the 2023 deadline of 75% coverage. And from a historical point of view, they might just, I don't know, cherry pick the 75 out of 100 and say the other ones are too hard. What I find funny is the fact that they recently came out and said how they are not builders anymore, which is fine, but damn it, I'm sure upgrades involve a bit of building. So let me know your thoughts below. All in all, we should be very happy that we finally have these upgrades coming our way. Doesn't matter what the semantics are for now, I'm sure it'll work out slowly, and if we put pressure on the government, we may actually get something good out of this. In any case, make sure you're subscribed to be in the know. We will continue to keep an eye on this and follow the story as it develops. Expect some more updates later on this week. And if you like this video, then tap the like button. It helps a lot, especially with Google and YouTube and the ACCC going head to head. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in another one. Bye!